Hey, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're looking at the astrology of September 2025. We have eclipses, one in Virgo, one in Pisces, activating your ninth and third house. It's going to be a nice touch for you. These eclipses should feel more welcome than not. And I'll break that down in our video ahead. Beyond the eclipses for change and fated change at that, you still have Lord Jupiter hanging out in your sign, protecting you, giving you blessings and luck. The first week and last week, however, of the month have some tension, particularly with that Jupiter and somebody in your domicile or home life. We'll talk about what you might do with that. In all, I would say that you're going to enjoy the month of September, but you may expect some changes in your home, in your domicile, where you live that are quite important. So let's get going and break it down for the month ahead. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac system and whole sign houses, of course, the ancient tradition. Once you go whole sign, you never go back. If you're listening for your ascendant, you're listening for your character in the simulation. It's your avatar in this video game. However, it's often most accurate for circumstantial change. The character goes through change. Your sun is career purpose and the deep essence of who you are. It's your game player. And if you're listening for your sun sign today, you might find that useful as well. Moon sign listeners today, well, the moon is your home and nest, your mom, your feelings about life. Quite often, events that impact our moon change things to do with our home life. And so if you're a moon in Cancer, listen to understand how the sky may impact home, and just listen as if it's your first house placement. That's how we do astrology, as if the moon is in the first house, as if the sun is in the first house in Cancer. So let's get rolling and let's break it down. Oh, by the way, before we talk about the astrology of timing your best month of September, I am teaching my Sky Reader September 27th at 6 weeks, how to time your best life, be your own astrologer, and sky read to read your natal sky. If you want to learn how to do that and come aboard that 6-week live course, weekly Q&A, Discord group, Facebook group to keep in touch with other students, well, I would love to have you there. Information is in the description box, and I'll pin it to the comments, how to enroll, how to, read the course content to see if it interests you or not. I'll see you in class, 6th time teaching it, and I do love teaching this course. Let's start off with the astrology for your month. I'm going to share the sky with you so you can see what it looks like. Take some notes, take your time to absorb the chronological week by week breakdown of the month ahead. Now, one thing about the sky, here's your sign ascendant in Cancer. That's why we pretend like, okay, your sun could be here or your moon in Cancer, as if it's in the helm or the steering wheel of the chart. That's what we call a derived house reading. When we look at your ascendant or sun and moon in Cancer, we're going to notice Jupiter will be here at 18 degrees as the month starts out. Jupiter is good, protective, lucky, generous, magnanimous, expansive energy, but he's also about children. So any of you listening who are thinking to make a family, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. You are very much inviting children into your life. It's very good for making babies. So keep in mind that this is also a transit that can put weight on your body, muscle or chubbiness. It's up to you, because everything Jupiter touch expands, including your girth. That is going to be with you till next summer. Don't feel bad if you put a bit of weight on. You'll take it off. I've already gone through this a few times. I'm 63. It does not last. Jupiter here also gives you hope, optimism, and faith. This is going to always be here. It's not going anywhere until next July. Now, and every 12 years, you get another reset. One thing about the beginning of the month, it is difficult because there are tensions in the sky called squares. So we'll notice right away as the month begins, really right off the bat, Mars and Jupiter are having a disagreement, and that's going to cause problems for you in your home life. It could be fighting with somebody in your home, separating from someone in your home, mortal combat with somebody in your home. The best you could do with this is a construction project in your home. Mars here out of balance. Somebody's not in their A game. Someone could lose their mind, fly off the handle. Honestly, you're going to feel this for the whole first week, the first 6-7 days of the month. Just be careful that things don't occur here that can't be undone. Jupiter exalted means you're on your high horse. You may feel like you've got the justice and the rightness, and you're right. And I don't know, we're not always right. And Mars is fighting back, and he's off balance. So blowouts with family members in the home is basically it, or roommates. Be careful. Maybe injury in the home. So be careful for that as well. And you're just being overly optimistic and super buoyant about life. And next thing you know, you're sliding off your, I don't know, you're crashing into the garage, okay? Or you're sliding across the kitchen floor because you mopped it too much or something. So be careful for injuries at home as well in the first week of September. Some of you might want to travel from home or move your home under this kind of intensity. I wouldn't make decisions around that right away because Mars is off balance. I'd wait to let him get the heck out of there before you make those choices. It can be like, I'm out of here. And this is an expat signature too. So some of you may want to move to another country from where you currently live. Again, it's not you shouldn't do it. I think just wait a bit. Mars will leave the sign of Libra where he's in disability or lack of balance. He will leave there on September 22nd. So hold off on major home changes and decisions until then. In fact, he started in this part of your sky August the 6th, leaves on the 22nd of September. So you've got your 6 weeks ordeal to deal with, right? Conflict in the home, anyone? Moving into the other problem chart of the first 7 days, Mercury squares Uranus. Mercury represents news or information. And you'll notice that some kind of insight, news, or information may come through the sky. We'll move it forward for you to see the dates as soon as he goes into Virgo on September 3rd. So September 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe, watch out for some kind of potential. You might even feel it on the 2nd, late in the day. So 2nd to the 5th, some kind of information or conversation or news that is destabilizing or surprising. It may involve your neighbors, aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces and nephews, third house people. It could involve a sibling just one younger than you. And it also, with the South Node, is asking for fated surrender and release to let go of the situation, but it may not be your situation to worry about. It may be somebody else's. Sometimes news to do with the third house with surprises could be on your social media landscape, your internet platforms, and there's something unexpected, surprising, shocking that may be involved in that storyline. And yet at the same time, this is just a short event. So 3rd, 4th of the month, some destabilizing information, news, neighbors, aunts, uncles, cousins, a sibling one younger. Those are some possibilities. Now, Uranus is also in the house of long distance revenue and foreign lands revenue, money made abroad. And you could have a shocking jolt of information or news about digital income, borderless revenue. Is it bad or good? I don't know. It's just basically surprising. The first week is that story, but there's an eclipse on the 7th of the month at total lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Pisces on the 7th of September. This is an eclipse cycle that takes you back to 2006, 7, and 8, that kind of vibe, late 2006, all of 7 into early 2008. These eclipses were happening in the axis of Pisces and Virgo. This eclipse on the 7th is a full moon and it's total. And what this means is that the moon will be right here with the North Node opposite the sun. What I'd say about this eclipse is you already had a bit of a foretaste of the energy here because there was a lunar eclipse on September 18th last year. And it wasn't exactly the same and it wasn't total, but there is the energy having been initiated, and it could call you to study, to learn, to take academic courses, to maybe want to align with purpose and meaning in your life. It's also the place of foreign shores and lands, and quite often with the North Node also representing the foreigner, there's a lot of focus in your chart on the potential for change in your life connected to foreigners or foreign people, and maybe a move. Certainly with the South Node in your 3rd house, some of you may be thinking of reconsiderations of home and zone of living to some other country than the one you're currently in. And this will prevail throughout till the middle of next year with the eclipse cycle. So this is one of those booster eclipses. With the moon here, moon represents home as a general principle, and there may be a desire to change your home connected to a distant shore or far off land. Basically, that's what I think that might be. Otherwise, you might be looking at fated, destined foreigners entering your life, chances to learn or be under the mentorship or teaching, like someone teaching you something. Maybe some of you might be considering going to school and doing some higher education and fulfilling a longer goal or dream with this eclipse. I'll be doing a video on the eclipse with the asteroids in much more detail. So please consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss that content. Now, another element going on after the eclipse and by the way, you don't mind the eclipse. Jupiter, I forgot to say, it's a blessed eclipse. Jupiter is blessing it from your sign. So it's not destabilizing at all, but it could be destined travel opportunities, destined book publishing, destined academics, destined change of home to another country. Jupiter says blessed, delightful, and wonderful. So we like the eclipse for you. Don't sweat it. It's going to feel good. For some of you, it could change your home as well. Now, we move forward into the second week, the 7th to the 14th, and we notice it's a very positive energy. The main events have to do with what we call a sextile and a conjunction. The first one is the sun. The sun will sextile Jupiter. We're going to see this playing out around here. Oops, I'm too far on. So here's the sun at 18 degrees of Virgo, and here's Jupiter at 19. It gets really exact on the 12th. And so there's a feeling as you build up towards that. Let's say about the 10th to the 13th or 14th, you're feeling very fortunate and lucky regarding the third house storylines. That could be about a writing project, a marketing project, a website development, a neighborhood, a neighbor, a move to a new neighborhood, and a very auspicious energy, very positive, fortunate energy going on here. The sun is brightly lighting up the third house of neighbors and siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles, and Jupiter is bonifying the whole thing, making it very successful and happy. All month long, you might be noticing, by the way, you might have your eyeball on this little triangle here. That little triangle is going to be the backdrop for the whole month, basically. And it's like, okay, it's very transpersonal. It's very lofty energy, but it does give you a lot of beautiful energy in your inner life, in your subconscious, and the way you're liberating yourself spiritually in the matrix, that kind of thing. But it also is pointing to some success in your career. But that aside, you'll notice another little triangle forming here as well. That's going to be only on September 12th. But it is going to suggest a very lucky day when it comes to career matters, career gains, social media, writing, marketing, selling projects, and maybe even career profits as well, maybe even some kind of exposure to larger groups of people and success that comes from it, and something you're doing in the work and career space. And that September 12th looks very positive for you. When we look at the Cazimi, we call it a conjunction between the two planets, Mercury and the Sun, and it's going to happen on the 19th degree of Virgo, around the 12th, 13th, time zone dependent. Here in Washington, D.C., it'll be on the 13th. You'll notice that this combination of planets is a reset button. Yes, certain things can happen on the day of this, which information, news, or insights or divine downloads can emerge that really set your course for a writing project, a teaching project, learning, signing up for a course to learn a new skill, planning or taking the trip of a lifetime, destined, fated travel plans, opportunities, and for some of you, changes of home. The reset button of Mercury is going to start something that can take up to 6 weeks to unfold. So don't look for everything to happen on September 13th. If you wanted to let go of a neighborhood, release the place you live, change your city, this will be a beautiful reset button that gives you great dignity, Mercury and home, kingdom, giving you the reset you need. If you want to start a writing project or a communications project, launch a website, use this energy September 13th to your benefit. It should be a successful new beginning. And all over, Jupiter's still blessing everything that you do in this part of the sky. So nothing to complain about. The second week looks really auspicious. As you continue into the next series of storylines, we're going to talk about September 14th through to the 21st. And it is going to involve the second eclipse on the 21st, which is going to be in Virgo. But before that eclipse, let's take note of the cosmic lovers in a beautiful relationship. We're going to say that they're getting along fabulously. So Mars and Venus are, but Venus is what you desire and which, what will bring you joy and delight and fun and pleasure and satisfaction. And Mars is like, I'll go fetch that for you. Let me do the actions and decisions to bring that to you, Venus. Venus is in Leo. And you'll notice that when Venus is here, she's quite entitled and it's in your money house. So you're going to want to buy things that bring you joy and pleasure. You might sell objects that are, expensive or whatever, but you'll make money from those sales. You're going to find yourself feeling more beautiful facially for some reason. Maybe you got a summer glow tan, or you got some facial rejuvenation going on. You might also have beautiful speech and things that you say people want to listen and hear, and that speech can really fortify breakthroughs in your career, healing chironic wounds of purpose. So speech is very highlighted. You might be speaking more than you usually do in your career setting. One thing about Venus here, though, is she's giving you wealth, good juice every year when she's here, and loving up your money story. So money should feel good for you at this time. Now she's in Leo, right? Not just here. She started moving through the Leo sky, your money house, August the 25th, and she doesn't leave until September the 19th. So you've got the first 3 weeks of September in which you got a lot of love on the money front from Lord Venus. And I love this time of the, September 13th, 14th. So look what's happening when we see September, I'd say 12th, 13th, 14th. She's beginning to talk to fetching the goodie bags, Mars in the fourth house of home. For a few of you, a change of home and the money you need to do it. For some of you, a construction project and financial wellness that allows you to add something to your home or change your home or redecorate your home. But this continues to be a story. You'll notice that they track beside each other. Here we have September 15th. They're still in a conversation. On the 16th, they're still there. On the 17th, on the 18th. It doesn't really break out and completely get done until the 20th. So, the third week of September, let's go the 14th to the 20th. Money is good, and it connects to matters to do with your home. Maybe you're making a lot of passion, drive, and ambition to create money from a home-based project or business, but otherwise, maybe it's, again, all the other things I said to do with financial wellness and the home life, or maybe even travel from the home and the money to do so. So that's the vibe for the third week of September. It's quite positive. I like it for you. Now, the other thing going on at that time is Mercury opposite Saturn and opposite Neptune. That's complicated. Let's back that up a bit. By the way, I did tell you that you'll have Venus in Leo, as I said, first 3 weeks, but also that Mars transit, which I already mentioned, is finally going to end that difficulty of having him in Libra, August 6th to September 21st. So we're coming, as we move along to the third week of August, there's some major changes of energy as two planets, Venus and Mars and Mercury, three planets all change signs. So you're going to feel a different energy in the mid to end of the month. All right, so Mercury is opposite at 28, 29 degrees, Saturn. He's going to be exactly opposite at the 28th degree, which is the household name degree. If you're trying to get some success in writing projects, website, social media success, you could have a spurt of good energy here, positive success energy, perhaps around this time, the 18th, 17th, and 18th of the month. But he's also opposite Saturn, and Saturn's a tough taskmaster, and there may be some compression here. Speech can be, and communications can be contained, thwarted, stubbornly difficult at this time, especially travel plans can be held up, or there's just some kind of compression around travel and communication and teaching, learning, marketing, and selling on the 17th, 18th of the month. Then on the 19th and 20th of September, we see that Mercury slides into Libra. Now he's going to be here in the sign of Libra from September the 19th to October 7th. It's time zone dependent. September 17th, 18th, 19th to October 7th. This is fine. He's got some dignity in Libra. We don't mind that. And you'll be doing a lot of writing, communicating, teaching, speaking, or marketing and selling in and from the home, or selling a home, especially with a trine to Pluto. Some of you may be with this energy looking at a home sale opportunity or purchase or buy early into the storyline around the third week. So starting really on the 18th, 19th, but it could be true all the way through: marketing, selling, buying, real estate, home, property, mortgages, refinancing, all of that, all the way through until October 7th. But this is a kite, and I'll do a whole video on it. And it's a big deal in the world. And it could be bringing life-changing, game-changing things to the collective sphere in your own life. I'm not going to do this here. I'll be doing a separate video. So please like and subscribe to get that content on the weekly. But here you might be really looking at an opportunity to lift off in your career. Some career success is trying to happen here in the fourth house because you created things from your home base and now you're having success in the career. It could indicate career success, especially to do with Neptunian themes, writing, glamour, modeling, Hollywood, music industry, fantastical stuff like making imagery. I don't know, YouTube is and all the video platforms as well. So success is looking good on you here. There is a moment in time where you can have some career liftoff, and that is also connected to Pluto, maybe making more money from it and chunks of money coming your way, and finding that Uranus is opening up surprising, shocking acceleration of success in your career. So it's a good career spike for you on the 18th and 19th of the month in particular. The 21st is a solar eclipse, and it's going to be at 29 degrees or 28 degrees and change of Virgo. Now, the solar eclipse is a big energy. It's partial, so it's not total, but it will last up to a year. And so having the solar eclipse means it's a new moon. The moon and the sun are together close to the node of fate, around 28, 29 degrees of Virgo. This is a very intense energy about completion and endings, but it's also about the household name degree as well. One thing about this eclipse is that you could see yourself having a fresh start or a new beginning in the year that follows with regards to home life, especially neighborhood. If you are somebody who wants to change your zone of living, a new city, a new province, a new state, maybe this is what we're seeing here. South Node, let go of the old, new beginnings, something fresh wants to happen. You also have Venus not in dignity. She's in detriment in the sign of Virgo. After her Leo stay from August 25th to September 18th, by the 19th, she's moved into the sign of Virgo. She'll be here till October 14th. From September 19th to October 14th, Venus here can bring difficulties or challenges to your social media landscape, your neighborhood environment, your writing projects, difficulties or challenges with a sibling one younger, that kind of story. She will also be squaring Uranus as she enters Virgo. Venus square Uranus can be a bit of a jolt or surprise in the life of a neighbor, a sibling, a cousin, an uncle, especially one younger than you when we talk about the sibling narrative. So we'll be doing an independent video on that. It's a very short-lived surprise, by the way, like September 21st, the day of the eclipse. You might notice that the sun and the moon, though, they want to start something fresh and new, but it's destined and it's fated. And you only get the fresh start when you let go of something. Let go of that writing project, website, a social media platform, let go of the neighborhood situation, let go of the attachment to the sibling when younger. There's something that wants to end here. Letting go is important so that you can move forward, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Anyway, there's definitely a surprising vibe here too because of the Venus square Uranus. So I'm not sure for you know exactly what the surprise will be, but it may be something that you are unexpectedly seeing in the short term around the third week of September. You might go, oh my God, what a surprise. I didn't see that. Is it bad or good? It's a little bit less than positive because of Venus is falling condition. All right, that's what I got for you. This eclipse has got a lot more layers to it because I'm really looking at asteroids and stars involved. So if you like this kind of eclipse delineations, this is fated change. That's very much like fated change that happened in the fall of 2007 at a year. If you want to go back to that time in your life, you might be able to make some notes of comparison. So the eclipse happens, and then we move into a solar driven narrative that is going to be sun activating the bottom of that kite we just saw earlier that Mercury started activating. This is going to start opening up on September 23rd, and you'll feel it for the first 3 days after. So September 23rd to the 26th of the month. What I'm seeing here is like the sun is following up on what Mercury started doing earlier. Remember, Mercury was active there around September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So there's something about this energy that wants to take that kite even higher. And again, career success could happen here for you. And it's anchored by this beautiful air triangle. And the air triangle is active all of this mid-September to the third week of September. Mercury hit it up first around, what date did Mercury activate the kite? September 18th. And then now we have the sun on September 23rd. If you always wanted to see yourself succeeding in your career because you're involved in spirituality, enlightenment, imaginal career realms, artistic career realms, YouTube and videography platforms like Instagram Reels, stuff like that, TikTok Reels, you're gonna lift off here. There's a lift off here. There's something's trying to succeed here for you, with you, happening in the sky. But the air is anchoring it. It's an air trine. It's communication, ideas, relations with others. And it's in the moksha houses. So you're coming deep, deep from within your soul to get lift off in your career. If you're trying to get lift off on the surface because you want to chase the money or the paper, that's not going to work. This is because you are working at a deep soul level to get the career success you want and deserve, but you're operating at a deeper principle from within the depths of your soul. Let's call it that. That's an exciting time for you in your career. So if you're wanting to have career success and you want to activate career success, this would be a good time to do that. Again, September 18th and the 23rd, two different liftoff points. The last week has also got the difficult Mars energy squaring Pluto. Mars is he's in good shape. He's in his home kingdom and he's strong and he trines your ascendant sun or moon. So you don't mind him in your fifth house. Mars will be in this fifth house till October 14th. This could separate you from your children or love partnerships. If they're going to end here. Maybe a kid moves out of the house, but this is also good for passionate, creative projects, entrepreneurial passion, ambition. This is good for being competitive and winning and, competing to win. And this is good energy as well. If you want to start a new love story, it could be very passionate, very romantic, very sexy, right? Especially with Venus sextiling, even in her fall from the third house. Like for some of you, new romance can blossom through changes of neighborhood, travel, creative projects, learning environments, stuff like that, from September 19th to October 14th. In the beginning, however, he has to have a difficult conversation with Pluto. And that's not an easy place for him because these two don't get along. I mean, really, they're two intense malefics. Personal willpower, Mars, versus transpersonal willpower, Pluto. Who's the boss, right? It's about money, guys. For most of you, it's a money story. It's about money in one of your children. It's about money and your romantic love partner. It's about money and your creative projects. It's about money and taxes and creativity and projects. I don't know what this thing is, what this tussle of financial stories are. It's not your daily earnings. It's money that you have to deal with because it's an insurance payout, a tax situation, an investment paying it off. Speculation and risky investments, no, don't do it. This is exactly a setup for you. Do not take a risk on some weird altcoin. Don't go into risky speculative investment structures at this time. Otherwise, there's some kind of tussle around money and some difficulty around financial matters. Jupiter is looking at it like I'm all good, but there is conflict here. It could definitely be most likely with a child, maybe with a romantic love partner that you're dating. Maybe just because you want to finance a creative project or an entrepreneurial business project, and you're having to deal with some kind of power structures in your finances, the banks, the loans, the leverages, the mortgages, whatever, and there's challenges, okay? So it's just a bit of an awkward time from the 23rd to the 27th, and then it is over. Now, for every sign, I've been playing with the dictionary oracle. I don't know if you know how this works. You open a dictionary with a question, you get an answer. I've done 3 signs before you. They've all been blessedly accurate. And we're looking at a little more fun and play to elucidate how this month would work for you. And I got the word morning, okay? Now, morning is where we get up and get our day started right before noon. Why do we think we have morning for you? I'm like, what does it mean to have the morning, the vibe of the morning for the entire month of September? Getting up in the morning, being in the morning. I think I'm going to go to Mars. He's going to enter that 5th house of joy, fun, play, and pleasure. And I always call that, and that entry of Mars and Scorpio to that part of your chart brings back innocence and wonder and childhood stories. But it's also going to get us in touch, or you in touch very strongly, starting September 22nd, right, to November 3rd, with why do you get out of bed in the morning? right? Now, there's also the essence of dawn. The dawn hour is where Jupiter is sitting in your chart, right? In the first house. So that's where the eastern horizon and the sun will rise. So you might go with the dawn hour energy as well. You might ask yourself, what new dawn, what new beginnings do I want in my life? And why do I get out of bed in the morning? Where is my pleasure, my enthusiasm, and my true inspiration? And with Jupiter trine Mars later in October, you're going to be looking at that more squarely. You want to move towards passion, play, and purpose and dharma. So there's a dawning of a new day. A new morning is here for you around activating joyful, creative pleasures in your life. And, right now for you and for everybody, but, Venus will be Oriental for you in the whole month of September. Venus is Oriental, the sun. Well, not the whole month. Well, she is Oriental, the sun anyway. So let's just say starting around September 23rd, when Mars enters the fifth house, Venus is Oriental, the sun. So she's going to rise before the sun. And so you're really focused on Venus as well. Venus is in your third house, and she wants to, with Mars, to incite you to ideas and communications projects, learning and teaching projects, marketing and selling projects that are also inspired, fun, play, and joy. If you're not having fun, and if you're not feeling in a competitive spirit, in a good way, like I want to win, then you're off track. So that's what I got for you. It is all about the new morning of your life in the month of September. Enjoy. Take care. Bye-bye. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and join me in Sky Reader. Learn to be your own astrologer, time your best life, and read your own natal sky. See you there. Ciao.